What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about what was the biggest announcement made at Dead Space's live stream, in that the voice of Isaac Clarke is coming back to voice Isaac in the first Dead Space. Now, there was a couple other, things that were shown specifically, visually that was absolutely incredible, and we'll talk about that probably towards the end of the video, but I want to make this video, kind of centered on, is it a good idea of him coming back, and also kind of talk about the details they discussed about it as well. I'll be honest, when they announced it, no, is it great that they get the guy who did Isaac back? 100%. If it was somebody else, that'd be pretty stupid overall, right? But I would say, a kind of hot take. When it happened, I checked Twitter. I checked some of the people kind of live tweeting it, and I thought, okay, this will be a good kind of test to see where the people, at least on Twitter, think of it versus me. And everybody was kind of saying how amazing it was. I was like, ooh, actually, so, because my opinion was kind of like, I'm not sure about this. My first thought, honestly, when seeing it was, cool, but will it break the isolation feel of the first game? Now, here's the deal. They actually addressed that word for word, which I thought was really cool because, immediately that was my worry, and it kind of overshadowed my excitement for it, okay? I would say I was more worried than excited, but then they talked about, well, what are the rules of Isaac talking? And the rules pretty much were the two rules, right? Number one is that he's primarily only going to talk when being talked to. He'll answer back, but he's not going to maybe initiate all that much, and he's absolutely not going to talk to himself when you're by yourself, kind of handling situations. The second thing is he's going to kind of provide feedback for his kind of expertise. So when it's engineering-like problems or the mission changes, right, the objective kind of gets updated, he may have something to say about that. But again, he's only going to be really talking to other people. He's not going to be talking to himself. So I would say, quickly, my caution of it went down substantially. Now, it's not completely gone. We'll have to see, obviously, gameplay, extended gameplay when the game comes out. Obviously, we'll have to see when that happens. And it's tough, too, because maybe some people don't even care. Everything I just said, right? Maybe there's some people that don't care and are like, you know what? I want him to talk. I'd love him to talk the entire time. Go ahead. You could argue that, and I don't even think you'd be wrong arguing it, to be honest with you, right? I think there's honestly a big debate, or there should be, in which one's the better game, Dead Space 1 or 2, and I mean, there's a lot different in 2 than in 1. One of them primarily is he's talking. Does 2 capture the isolation feel as good as 1? I would say no. I would say you're looking at strengths and weaknesses of the game. 2 is probably, in my opinion, a better overall game in terms of story, executions, gameplay, obviously visual stuff. I do think in a lot of ways it's better. However, just kind of the dread or the just downright fear that you had, at least I had when I was playing them originally, I do think that's not as much there. Not as much. Kind of replaced even more by gore, right? With the needle in the eye, obviously the synonymous thing. But, I think it was replaced a little bit by that. And you could say, was his voice a primary, concern of that? But, is it wrong to say I trust this team? Is it wrong to say I trust EA? That's probably a very big hot take, right? I don't know. I get the sense that they want to be as respectful as humanly possible to this game, to the situation. They know what made Dead Space special. They literally just want to enhance it, right? It's not about changing it in ways that you're going to make it worse, or even changing it so experimentally that you may make it worse, right? I would go, honestly, when doing a remake for a game like this, I would go for guarantees. You do what you can. Visuals, obviously enhanced. Lighting, they talked quite a bit about. The dismemberment of the necromorphs, right? You work on that. You really make it as enhanced as you possibly can. And then anything else that you do, you're taking risks. I mean, just factually, you're taking risks on, right? Because you're changing kind of the base DNA of the game. And adding a voice when you were originally playing it, there was 0 voice, and now that there is some, yes, were there awkward moments? I'm sure, and I haven't played Dead Space, by the way, in a very, very long time, but I'm sure there were awkward moments where it's well, Isaac probably could say something here, but for some reason, he's not. But yet again, it did fit the atmosphere. So, actually, it's kind of weird. It's kind of almost like a roller coaster because I'm kind of back up a little bit in the concern. We'll have to see how it goes, but I'm very appreciative that they showed or they talked about the rules of Isaac, right? Not that he is going to just, talk to himself like nonstop, kind of back and forth in his head, but that he's only going to talk, under really strict circumstances that shouldn't, and again, that's their words, like they do not want to break that isolation feeling. Anything that does that in regards to his voice is just not going to happen. So again, at the end of the day, it's definitely an exciting twist. Like whether it works or doesn't work, it's definitely exciting. They got it from that council. I'm a fan of developers listening to fans. At the same time, I don't know who these people are. I don't know if a Twitch council is like the best thing in the world to be kind of dictating what should and shouldn't be in their game, but I don't know. Maybe I just upset people, right? Maybe some of them are your favorite creators, but I do honestly respect them kind of going to fans, the diehards, and hopefully they are the diehards, right? And asking, what do you think can seriously make this game good? Or, just give us your honest feedback. So far, so good. The stuff that they showed, even the screenshots, they showed a couple, gameplay, basically, clips. Now, they're very, very early production. There's a lot more work to go, but my dear God, it definitely, it already looks like a massive improvement from the original. And one of them said something I'll end on this. One of them said something very interesting in that you don't really realize how, it looks good. Like, if you didn't see the remake stuff, right? The 2008 Dead Space still looks pretty solid, or at least when you were playing it, even back then, right? Obviously, it looks, incredible. And it's just very crazy to see something you thought looked pretty okay, even now. Like, we have other remasters, we have other remakes, but even right now, say 2-3 months ago, if you look at Dead Space, you'd say, pretty good, not bad, pretty solid, especially for being pretty old, 13 years old. And then you look at the remake now, and it's like, holy Jesus, the improvements that you can actually make are insane. And I think the girl said that in the live stream. That's a really, really good point. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. I do a brand new video every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.